Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, g'day. Very, very special live hangout. Keith Ibrahim here. And on the line in Dubai, I've only got Bill. He's just about to climb on a plane in Dubai, so we've got very little time. So I'll throw to Bill straight away, and I'll post this link in the group. How are you, Bill?
Yeah, well, thanks, Keithy. So I'm very well, and of course, the main topic will be, of course, the Bitcoin mining contracts. The 60 days of being out of payment means that we're getting close to the contract termination. And Genesis have been working on different ideas how to counteract this particular issue. And of course, there's many opinions out in the marketplace, but I'm not, as I often say, it's a very, very sensitive issue. We all have a lot of money. A lot of us have a lot of money invested in this, so to have contracts terminated is certainly not a positive option, but something that we have to deal with. Now, I myself was aware clearly of what the terms and conditions of what investing in Bitcoin mining said I was, and often on our calls, I think, Keithy, you probably would agree that we often spoke about this 60-day period. If the mining actually, the mining cost maintenance fee would exceed the actual daily outputs, and that's really what we are. It's come into that. I mean, 2018 mining has been a very, very bearish market, and it's not been good for mining at all. Primarily, because these contracts actually terminate, it means it gives all of us who bought these particular contracts no chance of redeeming our money, which of course is grossly disappointing, and that's really what this call is about. So what Genesis have come up with is the idea. They said, listen, and there's no question about it. I've been to these mining farms. The rig is actually the smallest part of the whole operation. We have all these comments about, people have built this and people have built that, and Genesis Mining have done this. Okay, you may have bought at least part of computation power, but that's a small part of the overall operation. You ever go to these mining farms, they're absolutely hugely substantial capital investments involved. So if people think that you can just, it's an easy thing to build a mining farm and that you've got the raw end of the stick, well, I can just imagine what demands, what revenues that the Genesis must come up with just to meet their electricity demands every month of €2 million. It's pretty substantial. But with that said, I'm not here to defend Genesis. It's about us. It's about me. It's about my colleagues and friends who have bought, and members who have bought, contracts, and some of them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and beyond that worth. And whether it's $200 you bought or whether it's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth, it's all relative. None of us like to lose money. So with that said, Genesis Mining have said, okay, to keep these contracts live or to extend the period of time that you're live, as per their email that went out, tweet went out, they said, okay, you pay the maintenance fee up in front. So you pay the 28 cents maintenance fee, and they will start immediately that you cover the maintenance fee, and whatever the output is, you will actually receive. And that's as per their communication. So what does that actually mean? Because there's a lot of misunderstanding out there in the marketplace. That means is that you pay the maintenance fee, and whatever the output of the actual Bitcoin mining is, you're going to receive. So if the Bitcoin mining cost us 28 cents per maintenance fee, and the Bitcoin US dollar exchange rate at the moment, let's say, is 23 cents, that means you primarily, each day you're 5 cents per terahash out of pocket. Now, over over 90 days, which is a quarter, it's going to cost about $25 to $26. Let's say it's $25 per terahash to keep your Bitcoin mining contract live. And your current return, based on today's difficulty rate and today's pricing, means that you're probably going to be out of pocket about $5 or $6 per month. That's what's going to cost you per terahash. Now, for 1 terahash, it's nothing, of course. But if you have hundreds of terahash, 100 terahash, for example, is going to cost you about $2,500 to keep your contracts valid for another 12 weeks. And based on current Bitcoin mining, it means you're probably going to earn maybe $2,000 to $2,100, which means you're going to be out of pocket $400 or $500. Now, that margin of deficit can greatly increase. For example, at the moment, the mining is paying out, the differences on 100 terahash would be, let's say, maybe $400 or $500, but of course the difficulty rate increases again, and Bitcoin mining price goes down, Bitcoin US dollar price goes down. Well, that could of course go to $400 or $500, it could go to $1,000 maybe, but that maybe goes to $1,500 shortfall. We just don't know. But on the other side, it goes into the positive territory. That is, the Bitcoin US dollar price increases. Maybe that $400 or $500 deficit on the 100 terahash mining per over the 90 days. So will actually decrease maybe to $100 or $50. Maybe it even goes into cash flow positive, which would be a fantastic scenario for everyone. So that's really what they're offering us, and this is going to be an individual choice. People are going to have to look at their financial situation. They're going to have to judge the risk being associated with putting more money into Bitcoin mining. What is the future of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin mining? Of course, no one really knows where it's going. So this is the risk that we all bear. This is the risk that we bear even when we bought the contracts at the end of last year, at the start of this year. That was a risk, and it was a risk that we often spoke about, and the risk that was actually detailed in the actual terms and conditions. So, Keith, with that, does anyone on the call have questions, or do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, there's. I'm just going to go to the. Sorry, I'm just trying to do 1,000 things at the moment, and just see if we've got some people in the chat box here. There's only a few watching. I've just posted into the group, so if you do have any questions, but basically, we'll take my example for my situation, for example. I've got 200 terahash. Now, if I want to keep my contracts live for the next 3 months, 90 days, I've got to pay out about $5,000 US, about 7,800 Australian dollars. But if there's a couple of scenarios I've thought of. If I pay that amount and start earning the 23 cents, it's 23 cents a day at the moment. That could, as you say, go up or go down. I could use that Bitcoin coming in to either get some money back, or I can use that also, the 23 cents per terahash, to buy some of the new contracts that are 14 cents per terahash maintenance fee. As that comes in, I can use that income to buy new contracts, the new Radiant contracts that are 5-year contracts at 14 cents, and maybe get the balance, the difference back there, take the 23 cents and buy the 14-cent contracts, if you know what I mean, and get my money back that way, because I've built up all this terahash over a year. If I do nothing, I throw away 200 terahash. If I do a little bit and pay the maintenance fee for 100 terahash or 50 terahash or 20 terahash or even 10 terahash and start earning some Bitcoin back, if I pay out the maintenance fee and earn some, I've got a horrible feeling, Bill, that Bitcoin will go up in a couple of months. It'll go up above 8,200 to 9,000 or 10,000, and there'll be in positive territory as far as earning above the maintenance fee, regardless of the difficulty rate. I've got that horrible feeling, but you can't predict that. So it's a bit of a quandary. So I want to get your thoughts on my situation. I can either look for $5,000 to keep my life for 3 months and use the money to maybe buy the 14-cent contracts. Will we have those available at Swiss Gold Global, the 14-cent Radiant contracts?
Well, they're not available right. They're not available right now. I'm trying to get back to this noise. Yeah. They're not available right now, but I don't know whether that's really the right game plan, actually. This is something that individually you'll have to assess. I mean, if you're mining for something, I mean, the one thing is, of course, the difficulty rate. I mean, at the moment, you could take $7,000 or $5,000 to go out and buy, and the Bitcoin that you would actually get is probably better than mining for it as it is right now. But of course, that doesn't look at the long term. Of course, you know, if you're going to be mining for another year, 2 years, 3 years, and of course, the other risk is, of course, you activate, you buy 3 months up, and you're valid, of course, and of course, in 12 weeks' time, you don't know what the situation is going to be again. Is it still out of the money? Well, you've got to put another $5,000 or $6,000. How how often can you afford to do that? That's one question. Of course, what is the trend of the difficulty rate? What is the trend of the Bitcoin US dollar price? This is something that really you have to assess yourself. You know, the solution to it, of course, if you have 200 terahash, it means you've actually mined some good Bitcoin. And the big solution on the big picture, I'm talking the big picture now, if Bitcoin is to have a future, and that is, you know, looking to maybe a year, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 3 years, maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 10 years. Who knows? That Bitcoin price is 30, 40, 50, 60, $70,000. Maybe it's way beyond that. Some people say it is way beyond that, even after maybe the 2020 halving of Bitcoin. But no one knows. This is all speculation, you know. And so whatever you do, you know, if you put in your situation of 200 terahash, yes, it's going to cost you 5,000, primarily to keep that going on the short term for 12 weeks. And then, of course, you're going to get the outputs. How much that shortfall is, I don't know. Maybe it's $1,000. But then at the end of the 12 weeks, of course, you've got to be able to, of course, just make it, if it hasn't come back into the positive, you know, into the money, you've got to make a decision. Am I going to actually push that 200 terahash again for another 90 days, or part of it, into 90 days to keep mining? This is what I cannot tell you what to do individually. This is something that each person's going to have to do, check out financially. Again, you know, as we've always said, even from the very beginning, you don't put money into this thing you cannot afford to lose. Who knows where the money is going to be? Even if you bought another 5, even if you bought 3 months of mining, who knows where it's going? Now, I believe that companies like Genesis Mining and other people who are in, you know, professionals in this area are bullish on Bitcoin, but no one knows how long the bear market's going to last. Bear market's going to last quite a long time, but they have a long-term view. It's whether you have a long-term view and whether you can withstand the pain to keep topping up, to keep your contracts alive over this next over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, over the next 9 months, maybe over the next year. This is the big question. But of course, if you mind, and let's say you have a few Bitcoin, even just a few Bitcoin, if it gets to the prices where we think it's going to get in the future, I mean, we'll all probably get our money back if you haven't liquidated your Bitcoin, that is, right now. But again, that's also speculation. There's nothing guaranteed here in that sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you straight, as I've said before on previous calls about the risk of it, all PT.
Yeah, every week, every time you're on, Bill, you say the same repeated thing like a broken record, which is, you know, don't put any money into anything that you can't afford to lose. And it's a disruptive technology. You've said that over and over and over again. Some people refuse to listen to that and make their own decisions based on someone else they're listening to, and they fall into a trap or they make a bad business decision. Having said that, people are there now. Sylvie asks, why can't Genesis allow a weekly payment or a monthly payment of the maintenance fees ahead, so a judgment can be made on a short term rather than 3 months, 6 months or 12 months? Are Genesis open to that conversation, or they've completely shut off at this stage, Bill?
No, they're not shut off. I mean, they've been highly communicative, and primarily you could see, you know, what they've offered their own members is 6 months. You know, the email that they put out, or the tweet that they put out, and what the solution they put out was actually a 6 month pre-purchase plan. We actually have 3 months. Now, if you can imagine, we've got 2 million members, and we're a vast amount of that. You know, the logistical side of being able to monitor things on a daily or weekly basis would be an absolute nightmare in one respect. So I suppose it's a logistical decision that, and 3 months. I mean, 3 months is, you know, obviously 50% better off than 6 months. But it's not as good as being monthly. Now, whether we get to monthly, I don't know, but that's where we are right now.
Are you due to have, like, the decision from the emails point of view said we've got till Saturday, the 6th, to make these decisions and go into our back office and purchase, not by credit card, so it'd be just either e-wallet, Bitcoin. Is that the only 2 options at the moment, Bill?
Bagwire, e-wallet, and Bitcoin. But on the cutoff date, listen, there could be, maybe there's, I mean, obviously it takes time for funds to come through from bank wire and different things. So maybe there is a bit of a, maybe there's still some time to stick about the cutoff date. But I'll have to, I mean, we're pushing for time here, but that's something that I can certainly, well, we have spoken to him about it already. But I'm about to take a flight to India, but let me just speak to them again, and maybe we can come up with maybe there's a few days leeway that we can grab, and which give people more time to analyse the situation and their own situation. But again, you know, I know from trading historically, it's a horrible situation to be in. No one likes the word loss. But again, on the other side, of course, if you're going to be putting more funds into that, you're chasing a loss in one sense. You've got to ask yourself, chasing the loss, is that going to put you in a better position, or is it going to be hurt you further down the road? Because nothing putting, I mean, nothing is guaranteed there. One thing's for sure is you're actually going to be earning more Bitcoin. There's no question about that. So therefore, the question is, what is that value of the Bitcoin in US dollar terms, looking long term from now? That's really a decision that you have to make. But right now, it's certainly out of the money 25 to 30%. So it's going to have to raise 25, 30% just to get back into the money, the Bitcoin US dollar price. And then beyond that, of course, you've got the difficulty rate again increasing in a few days. So, you know, we need a strong, exceptionally strong breakout on the Bitcoin US dollar price. Now, if it comes back into the money, it's fantastic, because what it's going to do is going to validate the contracts automatically into the positive node, and the time clock resets until it goes again out of the money. So there's many variables there, but the question is, right at these last days before the contracts do terminate in accordance with the terms and conditions, what do you do as an individual? And I really cannot tell you what's the right way to go. I know what I'm going to be doing. It's probably going to be a pretty balanced approach. And but I have a view that Bitcoin long term is going to greatly increase. But whether it takes a year or 3 years, that doesn't matter to me. I have a long term view on that. And if it takes 3 years for Bitcoin to really get it beyond $100,000, well, I'm happy with that in that sense. But who knows whether it's going to get to that? Maybe it doesn't. I mean, this is the $1 million question that no one knows.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of the posts in our corporate group. People are obviously put money in and bought contracts prior to Christmas that were in the pre-sale, and by the time they went live in March, the returns were extremely low compared to when they actually put their money in, and are disappointed they haven't had the opportunity at least to earn the money back that they paid out in contracts. So I think if you pushed and maybe got to them to a 3-month state of maintenance fee up front, I'm sure if you got them to a month by month, there'd be a lot of people would take that opportunity to pay the maintenance fee a month ahead on all of their contracts they have, or part of the contracts. And people got to, like, I've got 200 terahash. If I don't have $5,000 to put in, which is very unlikely, I could maybe make a decision to keep 50 terahash of my contracts alive by paying the maintenance fee. But if there is a month-to-month basis, then that would be very encouraging for a lot of people, I believe, to keep their contracts alive, because we're all in this business. We've come into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and blockchain technology because we love this space and the opportunities that will unveil, and we've all thought Genesis Mining would provide that. But there have been obviously outside things that have happened, the price and people, the big whales buying and selling Bitcoin and dropping off, and the SEC getting involved and government departments talking it down, people panic selling and the price of Bitcoin going down, and other mining companies jumping on the bandwagon, becoming mining operations, and therefore the slice of Bitcoin rewards is getting smaller and smaller, hence the difficulty rate is going up and our rewards are less. So there's been a few different things outside their ability to control. We understand that. But if it was a month-to-month payment ahead, that would, I think, a lot of people would be happy with that option. Now, I'll just go back to the amount of nodes out of the exit will be not be small. So 3 months to 6 will now take more than 3 years to break even. Is there an opportunity, maybe a month-to-month, Bill? Is that something? I know we've got 3 days to talk to them.
Yeah, we've got a bit more than that, but primarily that is a possibility, and I'll be messaging. I mean, I'm in communication with them now, and if hopefully I have some data when I'm flying, I'll be able to communicate with them while I'm in the flight the next 5 or 6 hours to India. But that is a possibility, but that's not. I don't make the decisions. I don't own Genesis Mining or pay their bills of the mining operation. They do that. So let me put that out to them, and let's wait for them to come back.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate your time there, Bill. I know you're just about to head off. Thanks for bringing us up to speed with obviously the members want to know that you're in communication with Genesis virtually a daily basis now as we get closer to the October the 7th. Communication lines are open, so that means there is a possibility that we can get maybe an easier option than 3 months, maybe a different option, a different attitude. Obviously, you're pushing as hard as you can on behalf, which we really appreciate. They're a big, enormous company that with 2 million members that all of us and the 2 million members have created their huge business model now that they have. So what we'd like, obviously, is you to represent us in the best possible way you can, which we all know you're doing. So appreciate the work, and maybe we can do a catch up when it's when you have more information, Bill, the next day or two as we get closer to the 7th. That's an option from where you will be.
Sure, I'm going to be, as I said, I'm going to be in India, meeting a large firm there with our engineer and with our asset manager, and also Brady's coming from the marketing side. So we will be available. Hopefully, I'm sure we're going to have good enough Wi-Fi for a call, and I think our time zone is even going to be better, closer to the Australian time zone. I think we're about another hour and a half, maybe only 5 hours behind you then, or 4 hours. So that'll be
something like that. Yeah.
fine quickly. So, but reach out to us, as I said, from tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow morning I arrive midnight tonight or something in Indian time. So reach out to us, and I might have some updates by then. But I'm going to have to rock and roll because I'll be missing the plane otherwise.
Yep. All right, Bill. Thanks. Appreciate your time, and we'll speak to you tomorrow, and I'll relay this information to the members. All right. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Cheers, Bill.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, there you go, folks. That's Bill live from, he's in Dubai at the moment.
40 the flight. Hi, Kitty boy. Wait on this.
Oh, we got Claudia there just jumping on.
Kitty?
Yes, Claudia, we're still live here.
Okay, but I don't see you anymore. But you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see nothing, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I don't need to see it. I know how you look like. So I didn't hear anything on the call. I was answering, as you can imagine, all the messages here. So what's up?
Nothing. The camera may be turned off. That's why you can't see anything.
And who did turn the camera off?
Yeah, he must have done rather than end the call. There you go. Yeah, so we've still got. We've got a few people watching. Bill just basically went through the 3 months that Genesis have agreed to at the moment. We've gone back with Bill to say, well, is there any other options of a daily or a weekly or a monthly pay the maintenance fee ahead? He said maybe there's an opportunity to have a chat to them about that. So we're going to keep in touch with you over the next few days. So we've had a few questions. We're still live. We've still got about 10 people watching now. Live. Is there anything you want to add from? I know there's a lot of comments in the Swiss Gold Global corporate Facebook page.
I mean, what can I say? Like I'm disappointed, like anybody else, which is totally clear. I mean, boy, I have hash power like you have. I mean, I may not have like so much as the best recruiters who really pushed it out. So I don't have that, but I do have a large amount, like just like you. And I have to. I'm also on my thinking head. What do I do? Do I invest more? Do I don't invest more? I'm still not clear myself, to be honest. That's just my honest opinion. Now, I believe in Bitcoin. I believe that Bitcoin will go up to, big amounts eventually. And I believe that people which now may not in the positive and which now, of course, have very little from what they actually put in because there was just not enough time. I do believe they will eventually become profitable when Bitcoin has this huge breakout, which everybody believes, not now, but maybe in 2 or 3 years. So I'm still having the faith there, of course. But then I go, of course, back as well and think, boy, I remember the stock market bubble in the end of the 1999. I know I put a lot of money into that, and no bank apologized or whatsoever. I mean, here with Swissquote Global, at least, we did do a lot of education. I mean, boy, the webinars we did, the hangouts we did. I mean, the many times we spoke about those wearables. We did speak about those wearables, and and I know so often. But it's nobody wants to lose money. So I do understand the people so much, and I feel for them. And if I could, I would. Of course, I would do everything to help them get their money back. I mean, why would I not, right? But that's just it's sad to keep it that way.
All we can do at this stage is. Have you and Bill, obviously you'll be in regular contact with Genesis over the next couple of days to see if you can get a more positive result as far as if people do wish to continue and take the opportunity to pay their maintenance fee ahead and receive. So at the moment they're asking for 28 cents per terahash per day ahead, and you would receive about 23 cents per terahash in payment into your wallet here in Swissquote.
But remember, there's a difficulty rate upcoming. Let me just check. So we got to think of that. So the difficulty rate right now, it says in 2 days it's going to be 6.13% up.
Yeah, I did.
We got to factor that as well in.
Yeah. It's every 12 days, isn't it, the difficulty rate? So, see, Bitcoin's at 6576 at the moment, and 1 terahash now is 23 cents. The next difficulty rate, this on Alice Comp, they're predicting it'll be 22 cents return. So dropping a cent return there. Now, that may go down to 21 cents or 20 cents. So you've got to make that decision.
We have to look at it.
Yeah. And
we got to look at this and make the decision.
Yes. And do you make that decision of taking the 22 cents and buying contracts with a 14-cent maintenance fee? So you're plus 6 cents a day by putting your money into that contract for a 5-year term. So there's a couple of variables there that I've been thinking about, and that's why I sort of asked Bill. And there's a strategy there, or maybe it's a good one or it's a bad one, to put your money from one contract into another contract, even though it's 14 cents per terahash per day. You've still got to buy that contract and get your return. There's so many variables. Some people are saying, well, that's it for me. I'm finished with mining. I'll just buy Bitcoin. It's at 6,500. I'll just buy Bitcoin, and as it goes up, I'll make my profit there straight from just holding and doing nothing. So there's very variables. So what we can do now, Claudia, is let you go for your plane ride. Thank you for your time and Bill's time right now. We'll do this over the next 2-3 days. If there's any new information we get from Genesis Mining that we can relay to our Swissquote Global members. And then we can update people with the latest information as far as if they do wish to buy the maintenance fee up front, or if they don't, or what other options they have.
I mean, to be fair, I have a lot of people I mean, a lot of people who are asking, who have larger amounts, they want to pay the fee. So they actually even they long time ago they said that they are. So I do have people, a lot of people of them. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just like I myself don't know. I like what I'm gonna do yet. So.
Right. Well, all we can do is give people the exact information from Genesis. Currently, it's 3 months up front. If we can negotiate via yourself and Bill to get that down to maybe a month up in front, I think
That would be great. That would be better,
a few people would be happy with 1 month where they keep their contracts going and make a judgment call every 30 days on a business model. So if you and Bill can push as hard as you can for a month up front, that would be great. And what we'll do, we'll end the call now and we'll catch up with you. I'll personally catch up with you guys tomorrow, and then we'll just maybe do another live in the next 48 hours, 72 hours as we get more information in. Okay.
Let's do that. I mean, I talk a lot to a lot of course, professional in the industry, and they all believe Bitcoin will come back into profitability. The question is when, of course. So that's why it's uncertain. But I need to fly now. And thank you so much. And well, I'm here to support you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Claudia. We'll see you. And thank you, folks, for watching. I'll give you an update as soon as possible on what we can new information we can bring to you from Genesis. All right. Thank you, Claudia.